as you guys can see, the 325 IS is finally back in the garage. So, if you're unfamiliar with this car, this is a 95 325 IS. I purchased this about 2 months ago. When I bought it, it ran and drove pretty good, and then once the car sat overnight and it was cold and I got a genuine proper cold start, it just ran like horrible. And I did a compression test. Car has low compression. It is also an automatic car, so the goal originally was to just manual swap it and it'd be a fun little street car, and now it's kind of turned into a full-on build, and that wasn't really my goal with it, but that's how it's happening. And I'd rather just finish what I started and not, you know, just dump this car. I'd rather build it, work on it. At the end of the day, it's still a clean title, clean-ish shell for a Alpine white coupe, so I am not complaining. And it's a 325 IS from factory. My goal is to just make it a really fun street car that I can daily if I want to. The goal for this car is to be a drift car. That is the goal with this. It's to get into that for me. And you know, improve my driving, all that. But the goal, like initially, the very first thing I want to do is get it running and driving, registered, smogged, so I can drive it to work if I want to. I can drive it on a 3-hour road trip if I want to. I don't want it to be some crazy undrivable track use only car until it needs to become that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Getting the manual transmission. I have the get track for it. I have the drive shaft. I just need to order the rest of it, but I would rather take the car apart and look at everything and just make sure I know what I need, and then I'll order everything accordingly. The other thing is I think the motor's just going to come out. I think I'm going to just take the motor out because I'd rather reseal it out of the car and build it out of the car on the side and put something in to get it going, if that makes sense. I want a car that I can drive as soon as possible. I don't want to wait. I don't want to build a motor in a car. I'd rather have it on a stand and build it on the side so I can have a operating car and just mess with that and just deal with it separately. So that's the game plan. We're just gonna prep this thing and get ready to take it out of the car. I've never pulled a motor, I've never pulled a transmission, so this will be a fun one. And the best way, I think, from what I've, you know, learned on the internet and forums and everything, is to just pull the front clip off of the car. It's actually not that hard. The core support and everything can come out, and then that way we can just pull it directly out instead of trying to finagle it up and out. So I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna get this thing taken apart. I'm gonna start up here. I'm gonna pull all these. These are just some Phillips head screws to get this little like shroud off. And we're gonna take that off. We'll take the kidneys out. We'll take the headlights and the corner lights out. We'll take the front bumper off. And I'm gonna show you how to do all this, but just to kind of summarize what's gonna go on, hopefully by the end of this video, we'll have the core support actually off of the car and it'll just be frame rails. So this thing will be just ready to come out. All right, so as far as getting these corners out, luckily, they're really easy. All you do is pull them directly out, and then they have a little clip for the, you know, blinker. So that's it. That's all you gotta do for the corners. As far as getting the bumper off, it's really easy. All you gotta do is start popping off all this trim. Normally I like to start here where the front plate's at, and there's this little trim here for like the tow hook cover, and then you can kind of work your way out. So you can start popping this off, and then you can, these are all hooked in with like directional hooks, so you'll see when I actually remove it. But yeah, you got, I believe it's 4, I think they're like 14, 15, 16, I don't remember what size they are, but we'll talk about it when we get there. Alright, so with all the trim removed, you'll see you got a couple of these guys, which are just plastic clips that you're going to pry out. You can use any type of pry tool, and you can pull those straight out. as far as the actual nuts holding the bumper on, they are 13 millimeters. So we're gonna go ahead, pry these off and pull those off, then the bumper will be ready to come off. The only thing we have to do after that is disconnect the 8 mils on the side of the fender liner, and then disconnect the fog lights. I believe there's like an ambient temp sensor, if that's actually still there. So there's a couple things to unclip from the bottom, and then this thing will just come straight off. Alright, bumper should be ready. Straight off. Just like that. And in case you were curious, this is the ambient outside air temperature sensor I was talking about. This goes in those brake ducts, but the other one didn't even have a brake duct, but this is the side, it's always on the driver's side, where the sensor is actually at, and then you have your clips for your fog lights. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The bumper is really easy to get off. So now we're gonna work on the headlights and the nose panel. So to get the headlights out, it's really easy. All you gotta do is pull these three. These are actually doubled as a like adjustment for the headlight to space them out or whatever. And then you actually have, you've got a nut there, and then you actually have one hanging out right here. You can access it through the hole for the corner. So I grabbed a smaller extension to get the one that's hanging out in there. And the last one that you're gonna need to know about, it's really hard to see, but there's one right there. So you're just gonna get an extension and get to it like that, or you can remove this shroud first, whatever you wanna do. As far as these, you just twist them out. So as far as getting the actual nose panel off, you have underneath here, if you feel, you got 2 8s on each side for the end of the nose panel, and then for the rest of them, you're just gonna kind of take a look around here. You got one there, got one on the other side. Again, here's yours over here. So just, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of look around and see kind of what has to be disconnected. You got your bracing for the nose panel there, so you kind of just follow it along. And yeah, it's relatively simple to pull out. Alright, so as you can see, I got these removed from the hood latch, or these are for the hood latch, and then I'm going to pop the little plastic grommets out to move the whole hood latch line out of the way. I got these bumper studs off, whatever you would call them, got those out of there. Alright, so I've made some substantial progress here. So this is essentially ready to come off the core support. All we got to do is get these Torx out here. These need to come out. The radiator is separated from these brackets, or at least it was a second ago. So yeah, this is out of the way. The only thing that's kind of a pain in the ass is, kind of forgot about this, forgot that this car has an AC. The whole condenser is still connected, and I did not have it like depressurized or anything, so I'm gonna have to just do this myself. I'm not looking forward to it because it's gonna spray everywhere. Also, I don't know if the AC even worked in this car, so maybe there's not gonna be anything crazy, no crazy pressure, but regardless, this needs to get out of the way. And I'm contemplating keeping or deleting AC. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we're very close to getting this thing out. All I gotta do, get that condenser out. I mean, I can take this off. I can take the core support off before I actually get to the condenser, so I'll probably do that. But yeah, I think I'm ready to just pull this thing off. All right, so this thing is almost ready to come off. You'll notice I got this spot well drilled out. I'll show you guys where those are at when I get this one out, but I figured I'd leave this one because I ended up stripping the heads on these Torx. This is something that I feel like is almost inevitable and unavoidable. I know people argue otherwise, but I've taken a lot of Torx off working at body shops, specifically on BMWs. I don't know what it is. It's a horrible design to use these for something like a core support where it's like so tight. So I was using the right size, everything, just ended up stripping it. So I'm gonna take an angle grinder and put a little slit in there, so hopefully I can get this out with a flathead. Otherwise, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'm gonna set the camera up and we'll grind a little slit in here, and hopefully we'll be able to get that out.
Well, I'm not necessarily stoked on how that turned out, but there's only one way to get it out sometimes, and that would be drilling it. So yeah, I drilled through that thing. I'll just use a nut and bolt when I actually go to put it back together, but I'm gonna go ahead and work on the other side. I think I might just try and drill through on that side too, instead of fucking around with putting a whole slit in there with the angle grinder, because the cutoff wheel that I have is a little too thick for any screwdriver. It kind of just strips even more. And now the drill's dead. That's both my batteries, man, fuck. All right, final step is, let's see if this is ready to go. Just gotta drill up these two spot welds right here. There's 1 and 2. I'll go ahead and put the camera up so you guys can see that. Just wanna drill those out, and yeah, it'll come off right after that. We'll be completely free. And just like that, push port is off. All right, welcome back. It's the next day. I think yesterday I suffered from a little bit of heat exhaustion, and I'm back in it today. It was 105 yesterday, and in the garage it was probably 110, 115, maybe higher. And today it's pretty much just as hot, so I'm starting a little bit later in the day. I apologize in advance for all the wind noise you're gonna get. I got a couple fans running, and I am feeling so much better. Shout out to the fans. I got one here and one over there. I just picked this shit up at Costco. It's like a dyno fan, bro. Look at that, it's gold. As far as the goal for today, I want to get the radiator disconnected, the condenser off, the transmission cooler, and maybe I'll work towards like the getting the mid pipe off and the drive shaft, but I don't think so. I'll probably just stick with the condenser and basically all the cooling elements up front, so we basically have direct access to the front, like the belts and everything. So that's gonna be my plan. You guys are probably gonna be set up on a tripod, I mean, realistically. All right, so for legal reasons, I'm not gonna talk about how I'm gonna take the condenser off, but theoretically, if you were to do this the incorrect way, you theoretically could crack one of these like Allen heads and theoretically let it drain out into the atmosphere. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. And again, I'm not doing that, but I don't know, somebody might do that. So I'll get back to you guys when this is gone. All right, magically, the condenser and the AC's been decharged. So I've been debating, I don't know if I'm gonna keep the AC or not. It's not a decision I have to make now, but I'm trying to figure out what to do in terms of actually keeping the AC or not. On one hand, it's great because it's hot as shit all the time. And on the other hand, it's kind of heavy, I guess prone to failure, but if I service everything while I'm there, it's not that bad. I'm just not sure. What do you guys think I should do? Should I keep the AC, or, I don't know, take advantage of the weight savings and then just sweat my ass off every time I drive the car? I kind of want to, I don't want to daily it, but I would like it to be daily-able. So the idea of AC is great, and I think I'll probably lean towards keeping it for now at least, and it's always something we could delete later, but I think I just want to keep it. But let me know what you think. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the condenser completely out and away, and then I think I'm gonna drain the coolant and probably the power steering. I'm just gonna try and get all fluids out. Only thing I don't think I even have to do is drain the oil, but we'll see. As far as getting the rest of this cooling system off, we have this transmission cooler here. So if you have a manual car, you probably don't have one of these. And I don't know where to drain it. I think I have to drain it from the transmission, so I don't really want to cut this out. I'll be able to probably just unbolt it and let it hang down for a second while I get the radiator out, and then I might be able to disconnect it right here. Actually, I'll have to look at that, because I would like to recoup every little bit of money that I got from this, or that I spent on this car, so I'd like to recoup as much as I can. You see the hard line, or this hard connection for the condenser, it's been disconnected. So I think we're just gonna leave the AC for now. We'll see what happens. But again, that's up to, have a decision to make on that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna start unplugging some stuff and disconnecting some stuff. It's pretty straightforward from here because the clutch fan came off when I wanted to do a leak down test. I don't think I included any information about the leak down test. Essentially, I tried it, my compressor didn't have enough PSI, but then I got a lead on a motor, so I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna start taking the car apart. Then the motor fell through, so now we're here. So anyways, I'm gonna pull the trans cooler off, or at least unbolt it, but I might just start disconnecting everything else first. But yeah, I'll just put it up on a time lapse. If I find anything notable, I'll let you know. Alright, the 325 IS is now in shambles. The core support, you guys saw, we got that off. Cooling system is out. I've made a little bit of a mess, so I've just been drying that up. Probably kick the fan on because now it's going to be stained like bluish green. The trans cooler, I haven't disconnected that yet, but I can just keep it out of the way for now. That'll get deleted when the transmission comes out, but as of now, I have to figure out what I'm going to do next, as in terms of what to pull and when to pull it. So I think that's a good point to kind of leave off part one of the teardown, and from here on out I'm just looking forward to pulling this motor. As far as the motor that I thought I was gonna get, I guess we'll talk about that in the next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying this series, and get excited for the next video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.